and welcome to the Knit and Paws podcast. My name is Raylene, aka Kamana Knits on Ravelry. You can find show notes for this episode and all other episodes at knitandpawspodcast.com. You can also find episodes on YouTube, on iTunes, and I think that's it. That is it. This is episode 39. It is Friday, June 12th, 2015. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Mountain Standard, because that's the time zone I'm in now. For now. Whatever. It's been 2 weeks. I'm recording on time. Go me. It's been a very busy day. I was supposed to go to the chiropractor. I kind of put my back out. I didn't even do anything, but my back was pissed off at me all week. And I was supposed to have a haircut, which is why I didn't do anything with my hair. But I was also waiting for a delivery from Leon's for TV because they had a really good price on a 50-inch Samsung. And the delivery people were late. Well, okay, technically they weren't late. They called me at 8 o'clock this morning and said, we're going to be there between 10 and 1. And I said, I have 2 appointments. I have to leave the house at 11. And they said, well, your shit's already behind a bunch of other shit, and we're not moving it now, so tough titties. Basically. I mean, they didn't literally say that, but that's what they were thinking, I'm sure. So I said fine. And went back to sleep for another hour and a half. And then I ended up having to cancel both of my appointments because they did not get here before 11. They finally called me at 11:35 or so, and my hair appointment was at noon, and I wouldn't have been on time, but I would have been a little bit late, and I already called at 11 and canceled. I'm like, I have an emergency, I can't make it. So I have to reschedule that, and that's too bad. So, TV came. I asked them if they would be willing to help me put it on the entertainment unit because I'm obviously by myself. Due to liability purposes, we are unable to help you. Plus, this one needs assembly, so then we really can't help you. And they seem to get that question a lot because they didn't really seem to care. So, whatever. I put it together myself and put it up there, and I didn't hurt myself doing it. So, can't complain too much, I suppose. And then went to Best Buy and spent too much money, of course, don't we always? I had to get a power bar. So I got a power bar and shopped, which was bad, but that's okay. So I need a drink. It's really warm today. It's like 30. Which is about 90. Well, a little bit less. 86 or something. For you Americans. You Americans. This cup is not clean. Oh well. Okay, anyway. So, yes, it's warm outside. My air conditioner works actually really nicely, and apparently it doesn't cost that much. I got my first hydro bill, and it's only like, for half a month, of course, like 15 bucks. I think I use the air conditioner almost every day in May. Almost, not quite. And I don't have it on like all day, only when I'm at home. So let's get into the knitting because this is still a knitting show and I still do that occasionally. And I have a finished object. I do. So my finished object this week is the Sproutlet dress by Tanis Lavallee in Woolmizer Pure. In a We're Different colorway, which is purple, a reddish purple. I knit this on US size 3, that's 3.25 millimeter needles, and I don't think I did the body, this skirt part long enough, and you can see the little leaves at the bottom, and I haven't put the button on yet, but it's got this cute little keyhole in the back, and it's supposed to have, like, the actual bind off for the bottom and for the sleeves is this fancy scalloped with big holes. I did not like it, so I just did a regular bind off, and I think I like that a lot better. So this is for my niece. I used, how much of the skein did I use? I think I used 100 grams. And Woolmy's Pure, not all of their fingering weights pure. All of their skeins are a larger put up than 100 grams. I think it's like 576 yards total and 150 gram skein. I used about 431 yards. Used about 3/4 of the skein. So I have, actually I have the skein right here. This much left. It's about 150 yards or so. If anybody would like this, to try out Woolmy's Pure, contact me. I will ship this to you. So, that's that. I really like it. I sent a picture to my mom. She really likes it. Everybody likes it. So that will be going to my niece when I go out there to visit for August long weekend. I'm going out. So that will be fun. I think it's the first weekend in August, something like that. My brother and his wife and my niece are going to be at my parents' for the weekend, and I'm going to be at the parents' for the weekend, and everybody will be at the parents' for the weekend. It'll be fun. Because I didn't go out for Christmas, and I haven't gone out yet this year. So I'm planning on going out there for August long, and then for Thanksgiving, and then for Christmas. Because this year I don't have anybody else's family to spend Christmas with. So, works in progress. I will start off with this. I'm working on a pair of Skip Rib socks. I don't even know who they're by because I'm a terrible podcaster and I don't think I've ever had it in my show notes. Adrian Koo. They're called Simple Skip socks. The first one, which is not here, is done. Has been for a while. The second one I have gotten quite a bit of progress on. I'm done the leg and I am working on the Fish Lips Kiss heel. So I've done the first half of the heel and I've turned and I'm working my way down the heel. This is out of Madeline Tosh sock in the plaid blanket colorway. And Tosh sock is a 2-ply 100% superwash merino. It has 390 yards or something per skein. I'm doing the 72 stitch size. These were originally going to be for a friend, but they are now for me. And I've been working on them quite a bit. I'd like to get them done. I want them off my needles. I want everything I have off my needles, basically. That is what I'm going for. That will not focus, eh? Focus. Whatever. So I have this much of my skein left. I'll be able to finish it out of this skein, no problem. Usually I don't use Tosh sock for socks because I don't like 100%, well, I've never made socks for myself out of 100% superwash merino, so I don't actually know how hard I am on them. I just want my socks to last long, so I always try to make sure that I'm using a nylon blend. The second thing I am working on is my banana leaf shawl by Yuki Idea. This is on the socks. All my socks are always on zeros, US size zeros. That's 2.0 millimeter needles. So this banana leaf shawl is on a US size 4, I think. Let us see. Really? Apparently it's on a 6. Yeah, I'm apparently doing these on a 6. A high sharp on a 6. My show notes say a 4. The pattern calls for a 5. I might not have had a 5. But I'm doing them on a 6. So, this is out of Skein Merino Lace, which is a discontinued lace base from Skein in her Element colorway. I have done that much from the Dicky Doo up. So not a whole lot of work, but a couple rows. So it is getting quite long. I want to be finished with this. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with all of my stuff. I don't want to. I'm stopping myself from casting on new things mostly, because I need to get these two shawls done because they've been on my needles for forever. So this is, I cast it on in last October. It's still on the needles. I mean, when I intended it to be a long-term project, I did not intend for it to be this long of a long-term project. So I need to get trucking on that. And then my Cloud Illusions shawl I cast on in March. And my Palm to Pin is from September. And I haven't. For my Palm to Pin, I ripped back both sleeves. So I have not started again. This skein is ginormous. This is both sleeves, so it's probably about 3 skeins. So I need to start on the sleeves for that again. But it involves math. I'm not really into math. Not at all into math. So next thing on my needles that probably got the most of my attention this week, I actually picked up my Cloud Illusions shawl and started working on the lace more. So this is Cloud Illusions by Boo Knits. And I need to change the needles on that. I will do that. But that's not going to help me. So, Cloud Illusions by Boo Knits. I'm knitting it out of Madeline Tosh lace in the Cove colorway. This is knit on US size 6, that's a 4.0 millimeter needles. This is a discontinued lace base as well, but was only recently discontinued. I believe Happy Knits still has quite a bit of it. You can still find it out there. It's a 2-ply, 100% superwash merino lace base. It's very nice. So as you can tell, I am much further on the lace. I think I only had like 6 or 8 rows done last time of the lace, and now I have significantly more. I'm done the first chart. One of the nice things about Boo Knits is that her patterns have a lot of options. So they usually have an option of stockinette or garter stitch body. I obviously did a garter stitch body because easy. Hello. And then for her lace sections, she usually has a shorter lace and then an extended lace. So I'm done the shorter lace and I've started the extended lace repeats. So I have, I think, about 20 or so more rows to go before I start the border. I'm not going to use the full skein, which I kind of knew already. I'm probably going to end up using about 700 yards out of the 950 yard skein. So I have 250 yards of lace weight, so 125 of fingering if I double it. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe nothing, probably nothing. So yeah, I love the Cove colorway. It's variegated, but not like it's almost like a watercolor painting when you knit it up, especially in that garter. Like you can see all the various colors and they just kind of look just brushed on. Madeline Tosh is my favorite. And then, because I had a skein of yarn, sock yarn, sitting here, balled up, ready to go, I cast on another sock. This is just a plain vanilla sock. This is the Into the World, I think it was December colorway Flounce. It's in their something sock base. It's in a sock base that I will, Gloucester sock. It is a 2-ply 80-20 merino nylon blend. I'm doing it on size 0s, of course. This is 64 stitches. I'm pretty close to getting the heat to the heel. I don't know, I don't really like a super long cuff, so. And it's pooling, of course, as it always does. This is not quite as vibrant. Like this purple, the lighter purple that's in the dark purple, that's a periwinkle color in real life, like this section here. And then the white is a cream, of course, and then there's a pale purple, and then dark purple, and then the periwinkle, and then it goes back to white and back and forth. I always like how Into the World stripes without being self-striping. I don't mind this kind of pooling because it does kind of swirl. Like it goes up here, and then you can see it just continues. It's swirling up the leg, but it's swirling in a way at my gauge on these needles with this number of stitches. Then it looks stripy, like that it fades in and out from the, you know, the two, the periwinkle and the white fades. Anyway, I really like it. Of course, this is the skein. And the skein, that's actually pretty color accurate right there. So, it's very nice. I miss being in their club. I might join up again. Maybe. Need a roommate, but you know. So, that's all the knitting. Yeah, that's all the knitting. I feel like I've made a lot of progress, but I also feel like I don't have much to show you, but I always feel that way, so it doesn't really matter. So I have upcoming purchases that are on their way. Vesper Sock now has, or Knitterly Things, who is the producer of Vesper self-striping sock yarn. They have a new 80/20 superwash merino nylon base. So I may have ordered a skein, which shipped yesterday. So I might have it next time. Other than that, I have, oh, 1 second. You're gonna see my pajama pants. Okay. I went to my local yarn store. I forgot about this. I was a bad girl. I made a bad decision. Went to my local yarn store and I bought a skein of Opal. This is, that was my phone. This is Opal Freezer. I don't know, it's this red and gray. You can kind of see it right there. So I bought this. I didn't know they had Opal, and now I know, and now I just want to go all the time. They have other nice stuff too. They carry Malabrigo. I like Malabrigo, but Malabrigo is expensive. This is expensive too. This is a $20 skein of yarn. I may as well buy hand. You know, for this at $20 a skein, well, $18.95 plus tax. I may as well order hand dyed. I may as well order an independent dyer. I mean, I still have to pay gas to go to the yarn store because it's on the other side of town. So I may as well just order online and pay for shipping and exchange. Yeah. It's kind of sad, but you know, it is what it is. The other thing I bought, which is not yarn. This is what I'm reading or what I read. This is what I read and what I purchased, but it's not yarn related. So this week, Laurel K. Hamilton came out with I think it's the 25th book in her Anita Blake series called Dead Ice. At Chapters locally here, it was $25 for the hardcover. I went in on Tuesday and picked it up because I really she's probably one of my favorite authors. I've already read it and finished it. You can see her there. So, it was good. There's a lot of criticism, of course, of any author that has been going on for so long. The first Anita Blake book was released in like 1993, and there was no genre of paranormal romance at the time. Now it's kind of everywhere and it's common, and there's a lot of authors out there, like J.R. Ward, Charlotte Harrison, who did the Sookie Stackhouse books that True Blood is based off of. Kresley Cole is another one. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of paranormal romance out. It's a very popular genre right now. Laurell K. Hamilton, though, was writing it before it was cool. She kind of started it. So they're a mix, if you haven't read them before, they're a mix of horror, mystery, romance novel kind of thing. So the premise of the world that she's created is that vampires and werewolves are real. Or vampires and shapeshifters are real, because it's not just werewolves. There's all kinds of were-animals. And vampires have become legal. They're citizens of the United States now. At the beginning of the book, it had just happened like a couple years ago, at the beginning of the series. And it's about 8 years has passed in the series. And Anita Blake is an animator, so she raises zombies for a living. And it's about her. So she's part of a preternatural branch of the U.S. Of the police service. It's set in St. Louis. So their local police service has a preternatural investigation unit, and so she's part of them as a consultant kind of contract employee, basically. She eventually becomes a U.S. Marshal because she also she's known by the vampires as the Executioner because she kills a lot of vampires. And this is when the book starts. She's known as the Executioner. So it's really interesting because it obviously has a very strong female protagonist. It's very detailed in its description of military equipment, which is, like the guns and stuff are accurate from what I've heard. I don't know. It's very detailed in describing that kind of stuff. It's also... It kind of changes. The series kind of changes. At the beginning, it's very much about, and it's because it doesn't change in a bad way for me, although there's a lot of criticism about it. Anita changes, obviously. She's learning new shit, right? As she changes, the focus of the series changes. It's not as much crime fighting. It's more... I need to move my phone and maybe turn it on silent. It's less just police work, crime fighting, and more about her interpersonal relationships and about just general stuff. I don't know. A lot of people say about midway around after Obsidian Butterfly, I guess. A lot of people say that it turns into all sex all the time. And honestly, I kind of felt that way as well, that it had kind of shifted the focus from the more mystery, crime fighting to sex. But I read an interview recently by Laurell K. Hamilton where they asked her, a lot of people have said this, and she goes, yeah, I didn't understand it because these are the 3 sex scenes that are in this book that everybody complains about, right? There's 3 of them. In a book about this thick in paperback. 3 sex scenes, and people are complaining that it's all about sex, right? So I went back and read that book, and it's right. There's only 3 sex scenes in the whole book. And prior to that, there hadn't been a lot of, well, there was some, but not as much. I guess there were 3. I mean, in the first book, I don't think there's any. But yeah, and it's kind of toned down, that aspect of it, the last couple books. And it's now more back to, like, there was a crime in this book, and we were helping find it. Now, there's a lot of other stuff going on. I mean, it's a pretty thick book, even for hardcover. It's over 500 pages, 560 odd pages. There isn't a whole lot of crime fighting. It's like the first little bit and the last little bit, and everything else is like interpersonal crap and other stuff going on that ties back into the storylines that have been going on, right? So it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep buying them. I'm still enjoying them. If it's interesting to you, I would definitely start at the beginning, because although she does... This was the first book where I actually found that she over-explained some stuff. I found that she was explaining things double. Like, she would explain it. She would kind of give you a brief overview at the beginning the first touch on the subject. And then when she touched again on the subject later on, it would touch on that again. Like, it kind of explain it halfway. But I would definitely start at the beginning. The very first book is called Guilty Pleasures. You should be able to pick it up. Mass market paperbacks, $10 in Canada, so it's a little bit cheaper in the States. It's quite thin, but it was her first, not the first book she released, but the first book in the series. And they're really good. I really like them. I really would recommend them. And I am in the process actually of converting all of my paperback copies of these books into hardcovers. I'm almost there, because the first one that was released in hardcover is Obsidian Butterfly, which is I think the 6th or 7th book in the series. Before that they were all just released in paperback. I think they were maybe re-released in hardcover, I'm not sure. But I have heard that that is the first one, and I already have that one in hardcover. So I will keep buying them in hardcover. I really like hardcover. I like the weight and the feel of it, but that's a whole nother. And it's cool because that's the spine on without the, and then she's got, and then like without the slip cover on the inside. I think that's cool. I like those little touches. I like that it's purple. So that was my other purchase that is not knitting related, but is still fun for me. I applied for student loans this week. I get to register for classes next week, so summer's almost over, people. Pretty much. So it's getting there. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully my last year. It better be my last year. And still no fostering. Might not do it again for a while. And gaming, I'm still playing World of Warcraft. That's about all I'm doing. I'm thinking about buying a PS4 because I now have a TV, but we'll see. So I will, let me just check the time. Oh yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna go. I'm hungry. I didn't really eat lunch. It's 3 o'clock. So I hope you all have a nice 2 weeks. Hopefully I will have something done next time I record. Hopefully the Cloud Illusions shawl will be done when I next record. And I will see you all later. Bye.